Okay, we're going to talk about how to set up a knife holder to an anvil or a slitter blade to an anvil. Okay, so we have a class 2 automatic knife holder with a pneumatic mount, and we're going to put a cartridge on here and we're going to set it up. We just replaced the blade and we're going to go through and show you how to properly set up this knife holder. Okay, so I'm going to take and slide this cartridge on. We want to make sure the arrow keys line up to our cut edge that we want to cut from. And so we're going to take and slide that on, slide it all the way on until it locks into place, right? It should come to a hard stop in the back and lock into place. Flip that lever to lock it in and seal it off, and now that knife holder is ready to be set up, okay? So the key factor is making sure that your knife blade is not over the top of your anvil before you engage it. So I'm going to move this over. I'm going to release the air on that. I'm going to move this over so it's not right on top of my anvil, okay? Now I'm going to take and I'm going to engage the knife in yellow, okay? So yellow is a setup feature that we also call half stroke. And what that's doing is it's allowing the cartridge to stroke over only half of the total distance of the stroke angle or to a setup position. This is the same for automatic and manual knife holders. On the manual, there's a push button here that would restrict that travel, okay? So now the knife holder is engaged and I'm going to bring it in contact with the anvil, okay? So I want this just to barely touch the anvil, and now I can see that it's just barely engaged. It's not really dragging or driving it, it's just barely touching it. I'm going to lock this down, and now I'm going to check my overlap. So there's multiple different ways to check the overlap, but really what we're trying to target is about 30 thousandths of an inch overlap to the anvil, okay? So a lot of people, and how I teach customers, is measuring the cord. So very easily, I'll take a couple business cards here, and I'll slide them on either side of the blade to get a cord measurement. And so that's the distance between those two business cards, and that's measuring the cord of the overlap. So for a class 2 setup on a standard anvil, we want a cord measurement of about 5/8 of an inch to 3/4 of an inch, and that will give us in that target range of 30 thousandths of an inch. So when I look at this cord measurement, we're a little bit over that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to disengage that knife, and I'm going to take and click this. Each click on this depth control knob is 0.1 millimeter or 4 thousandths of an inch. So this I have to shallow up. So I'm going to run this in about 3 clicks and see what we got. So now I'll turn it back to setup mode, and now I'm going to check my measurement again. I'm getting very close. I'm going to do that one more time to fine tune this, okay? And now we're to the point. I'm going to check it again. Okay, now we're looking very good at 3/4 of an inch. Now I'm going to take this knife and I'm going to disengage to red, bring it back to green, and now you can see that that's engaged with the anvil. And so if I take and rotate that, I can see that the knife blade's rotating with the anvil, and now that will cut that card and run that through there. And that's how you set up a knife.